Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rachel Anita and I like to do videos about finances, ADHD, mental health, just my life, career, all kinds of things. So if you're interested in any of those things, make sure to subscribe. Today we're going to be doing a budgeting for beginners video, and I haven't done one of these in a while. I've done a lot of like showing you my finances and how I budget my own money. But I haven't done like a big budgeting for beginners video in a long time, and I definitely have some new tips. So, if you're new to budgeting, definitely stay tuned and watch this. I have a few tips to make it as simple and easy for you, and I even have a template for you to look at and add your own things to, which will make the process so much easier. I have my computer in front of me because I'm going to be showing you on the screen somewhere how to use the template, as well as reading my notes, just to make sure I don't miss anything, because if you see my other videos, I have ADHD and I forget everything. So that's what this says. But yeah, so I guess I just want to go over the 4 things I'm going to cover, and then I'm going to show you how to do them. So the first tip that I have for folks is to take a full account of all the payments you make on anything throughout the month. Don't leave out anything at all. Make a list of all your monthly subscriptions, payments, credit cards, app subscriptions, etc., with the dates that you pay them. So I'll show you how I do that in a little bit, but I remember creating a budget for a friend, and she was kind of like, well, nervous about sharing her financial info with me, and because she was in trouble, right, I guess. And I was like, okay, tell me everything. And she was like, well, I paid for Netflix. And then I was like, okay, what about Hulu? And she's like, oh, well, yeah, Hulu also. And then I was like, okay, anything else? And she's like, no, I think that's it. And I said, well, what about your ClassPass membership or whatever? So I had to like yank these things out of her. In order to get a budget and get yourself into a good financial position, you need to be honest with yourself about what you're spending on. That's why it's so important to list all of these things, even if you might be just, you might be wasting money on some of these things. Don't leave out anything. I even add my Apple 99-cent subscription for more space or something, storage. Like, I include everything. So yeah, you're gonna be making a full account of all of your payments in the month that are recurring. The second thing is to list out your income. Now, if it varies, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. What I'm going to recommend there is to make an average of the last maybe 6 months and use that number in your budget. I would also recommend being more conservative. I love when I put a certain amount and it ends up being more. And you'll see that I do that. Like, for example, with Google AdSense, the minimum is 100. So I know I'm going to get 100 each month. So that's what I put, but I don't know the exact amount. And sometimes it's 160 or something. Watch my ads, please. So yeah, be more conservative with your income. If it's a stable income, which is the same every month, you'll know what to put down, which is great. The third thing we're gonna do is make a list of your goals and what you want to achieve with your budget. So this might be you need to save for a trip, or you want to start saving some money, even if it's just a little bit, or you want to pay off a credit card, or you want to make sure you don't miss any payments like you're on time with payments. And we'll address that in this video as well. So make a list of goals that you want to achieve with the budget. And then the 4th tip that I have, I might add more later, but this is the 4th I thought about. Set aside an amount of money for yourself that you can spend on things you enjoy. So, well, obviously groceries, that's a need, clothes, eating out. Now, I used to follow Dave Ramsey pretty strictly, like no fun, but now I have found that like a good middle ground works for me best. I definitely still want to buy things that I enjoy, but I might change things up a little bit. Like, I want to buy clothes, right? But I'm only going to go buy secondhand. So I bought secondhand for about 3 months this year, and that was really rewarding and saved me a lot of money. So you can find a middle ground, but again, I don't want you to suffer. You don't need to suffer if you have a budget. You can still enjoy things and buy things that you like and go do things that you like, but it's so much better when you know you're doing those things and you know that you can do them financially, because you know in your budget that you set some money apart for it, right? Okay, so that was the introduction. I know it was a little long, but I just kind of wanted to go over what we're going to be talking about and before I show you the budget so it makes sense. So now I'm going to start recording my screen, and you're gonna see my budget. Okay, before we get started, I'm just going to show you how to make a copy of this for yourself, because I get messages saying, why isn't this editable? Well, it's because I don't want you to edit the template because then other people can't use it, right? So you go to File and then you go to Make a Copy. That will produce an exact copy of this whole file into your own Google Drive, Google Sheets. Okay, that's how you use it. And the beginning is income. So I have two options for jobs here. I also just populated this with basics that a lot of people have. And so the first section where we total everything is income. And the money that you put here will show up here, okay? And all of this will sum up, so don't mess with the code or anything if you don't know how to use it. Just, it will add up for you automatically, okay? And then I have monthly expenses, so recurring charges that are necessities, right? So your rent, taxes if you're self-employed, setting aside money for taxes so you don't fall behind, electric, Mint Mobile, which is my cell phone, Wi-Fi, car payment, car insurance, okay? So this, all of this added up minus this. So we're gonna, at this point, we're gonna see how much money we have left after we pay for our necessities. And then after that, we're gonna tackle debt. So I have a credit card and student loan. So these are just examples. I definitely have a lot more debt that I would have listed, but let's just say you have two, okay? Once that's added up, it'll be deducted from this, and then we'll see how much we have left after paying our credit cards and our loans, okay? And then we have health and happiness. So Netflix, Hulu, iCloud, gym membership. Some of these that I add on here are Lightroom. I have this app called Finch that helps me manage my life. I pay a little bit for that. I have QuickBooks to help me manage my self-employment income, things like that, right? Okay, and so then once again, that'll sum up and deduct, and this is what you'll get. And then other. So this is consumables. This is that money that you spend on random things that you want for your own health and happiness, as well as groceries. That's what I call it. Now you can list things out specifically. You can say food, $40, whatever. But I personally have found what works for me is giving myself a set amount of money for all of anything that I consume. Food, movie tickets, clothes, drinks, going out with friends, things like that, right? Okay, and then this is where I would also put anything that you're saving money for. So like travel, okay? Other necessities, gas. I need gas. I'm really having to set a budget for gas. I'm in California right now and it's over $6 in a lot of places. And then you can add other things here like extra money for credit card or whatever, you know? I also like to, yeah, that's what I do, okay? And then underneath that will be consumables. So lately I have started tracking exactly what I spend under my consumables with the amount that I like budget for myself. So let's say that, we'll do it in a second actually. But yeah, so I'll just show you, I'll just run through this budget with you very quickly. And we're gonna go to point one, okay? So this is a monthly charges sheet that is available in this template, okay? So like I said, you're gonna have to list everything out that you need to pay every month, and I mean everything, okay? So we start with necessities, okay? We put the vendor or the type, rent, okay, $1,300. I will also often link to the page that, like the website page where I can, pay that thing. So I'll put my rental management company's website so I can just go quick there. Or if I'll put Verizon or Spectrum link, login link there and going on. So yeah. Another thing that I like to do is add the due date of the item. I know that I'm very forgetful and I forget when things are due and I don't open mail, and I often will just delete all the emails I get from these companies reminding me when my payment is due. So I just like to have my due date here and available to me so I don't forget to pay anything, right? Okay, so for example, here's the first, necessities, rent. I put $1,300, just random number, that's actually how much I pay for my half of the mortgage right now without my current apartment. And the due date for that, I put the first, okay? Wi-Fi, $50, so due on the 9th. Mobile phone, so this is gonna be Mint Mobile, $25 for an unlimited plan. That's due on the 2nd of the month, okay? Car payment, $300. the 20th of the month, and so on, right? And then we have debt. So you put the minimum payment amounts here, and then the due dates for that. Health, gym membership, once again you do the same thing. Entertainment, you put all your subscriptions there as well. Okay, so, and then we have a section that has all the months. Now, if you are notoriously bad at paying on time, this might help you. As you go through, like say January, you go through your budget, you start putting things in, you pay something, you can mark it checked off, right? And let's say you got through this much. When you next check your budget to make sure things need to get paid, you remember you have to pay the rest. So then you can mark it all off, okay? So I like using this for that purpose. Okay, now we're gonna go back to beginner and, not beginner, sorry. Now we're gonna go back to the first tab and let's fill this out together, okay? So let's say you have a job and for the first month of so the first half of the month, I'm gonna use my first ever income, okay? Which was, I think, $42,000. Okay, so we're gonna use $1,400 for each 2-week term, okay? So January 1st budget, January 15th budget. So I make $1,400 each section of the month, right? So we listed on the monthly charges page that rent is $1,300, okay? And this is gonna look a little bit wonky, but I'll show you how I save for rent if it's most of my income. Let's say this is in DC. So like Dave Ramsey says, like your rent's supposed to be 25% of your income. Well, that's like not possible in DC, okay? So this is what we're gonna go with, okay? Taxes, you don't need to pay quarterly taxes because you aren't self-employed. Electric is on the 8th, so that's gonna be $30. I don't know how much it is. Mint Mobile is on the 2nd, $25. Wi-Fi is, how much is Wi-Fi? $50. Car payment, $300? There we go. Car insurance, I'm gonna leave blank for now. And then we've got Discover, which is gonna be a 25 minimum. Student loan will be 100. Netflix. So what we're actually gonna do is change all of our due dates. So oftentimes you can change your due dates to different dates. So as you can see here, we're negative and that's not good, right? But what I typically do, so let's say you already paid your rent for January 1st and now we need to start saving for the next month. So I will split up my rent savings into 2 buckets, okay? So now that I've listed out all these things, I still have $950 left over. So I'm gonna set aside $300 for consumables, $60 for gas, and I'm not gonna travel anytime soon, okay? So we have $590 left over, and that's how much I'm gonna put towards rent, okay? So this is how much so what I will typically do then is insert a column to the left, copy this, insert a thing here, and then I'll change this to January 1st actual, okay? So now this is my budget and this is my actual spend, okay? So then I empty all these parts out just to see, you know, how much I actually spend. Okay, and then also for the consumables, I've set aside $300 to spend for this month. So I'm gonna put that in here and then I'm going to put this equals sum, and then I'm gonna highlight all of this. Okay, so this will automatically be coded for you when you get this template. But so I wanna spend 300. Under here, I'm gonna put everything that I purchase, the amount here, and then it's going to add up and show me how much I have left to spend, okay? So let's go. So let's say that you actually got a bonus. You've been there for a year, okay? They gave you a $200 bonus. Nice, or I'll actually do an extra thing just to separate that. Okay, so extra would be $200, okay? I have to code this properly before I release it. Okay, so rent. So rent's $1,300. That we don't have enough. 590. 1,300 minus 590. 710. So we need to set aside 710 for this month to meet our rent. I made a mistake. Okay. I forgot to look at the dates. We're gonna pay those at the right time. Okay. So car payment is on the 20th, so it won't be in this budget section. Okay, let's see. Okay, so January 1st actual, we're back. Okay, so we already paid for all of these things here that we needed to pay for. Didn't need to pay my debt during this first term of the month. Already paid for these, and then let's say you ended up using more gas than you thought. So let's say you spent $80 on gas, okay? And then your consumables, you ended up overspending. So let's say you went to the Apple store charger, $30. Okay, so once you get to the consumable section, I would go through your bank account on a daily basis or every few days and just add everything that you purchase to the cent, okay? So Apple store, boba, $23.49 because you bought it for friends. Okay, I'm just gonna add these through now and then I'll get back to you, okay? Okay, let's keep going. So I've written out everything I spent this 2-week term, and I ended up spending $457.85. So I went over by $157.85. So I also have this cell coded to this, so it will automatically populate with the number that you spent. So I like to highlight in red if I overspent or green if I underspent, right? It's just nice to see and help me for the future. So as you can see, I went ham, I spent a lot of money, oops. So I'm gonna have to like adjust, right? So, but that's okay, because I had some extra money. So I ended up, yeah, again, I ended up having extra money. I ended up putting more towards my rent. And I paid my Netflix, I paid my Hulu, I paid my iCloud, and then I paid my electric, my Wi-Fi, and my Mint Mobile, okay? So again, we're gonna go back to our monthly charges tab and we're going to fill that out. So I paid my rent for January, I paid my Wi-Fi, I paid my Mint Mobile, haven't needed to pay my car payment yet, haven't needed to pay my debt yet. I did pay my gym membership, I paid my Netflix, Hulu, and iCloud. So that feels really good to check off those boxes. I don't know about you, I like to check off boxes, okay? So this is how much we actually spent on January 1st, all right? We had $202 extra. Is everything paid? Because of the extra income that we had. And so I decided to put it into travel, okay? So let's say we're not saving it. We haven't even thought about saving it. Okay, so now we're at zero. So this is how we ended up spending our money. So at the end of the month, I had $202, at the end of the term, I had $202 in my bank account left. On January 14th, I transferred it to my travel bucket and within my savings account. Now what we're gonna do here is go on to January 15th, okay? So on January 15th, you're once again paid $1,400 because that's your salary. You don't have to pay electric. You have to pay your car payment, which is $300, so that's, you put that in your budget. You also have to pay your Discover card, which the minimum is $25, and your student loan, which is $160. And then you already paid the rest of this stuff. And once again, so we're gonna adjust your consumables because you spent a lot of money this month. Maybe you're high roller, you're having a lot of fun. And we know you're gonna have some extra money, so we're going to put, again, $80 for gas, so we're gonna adjust for inflation of gas, right? And then we're going to, okay, so savings, we're gonna do $200, and then travel, we're gonna do $340. Okay, so now we're gonna continue. I had to erase some videos for space. But yeah, so this is the January 15th budget. Again, this is how much we had left over. We had 0 left over, which is perfect. And now we're gonna go to the actual. So let's see how much we actually made, okay? So again, I'm gonna copy this, paste it here, and then erase everything just to start fresh and see how much we actually spent, okay? So so once again, we got paid $1,400 as expected, okay? The car payment ended up being $300. Discover, we paid $220 into. Student loan, we paid $160 into. And we didn't have to pay anything here. And then we went on to our consumables. So we set aside $400 for our consumables once again, but we're going to put $340 into travel, which is again our bucket within our savings account. We filled up our tank, so we got $80 straight. And then we popped $200 into savings. I always do everything that I need to do, like move money first before touching consumables. Because once again, I don't know what's gonna happen there, okay? So we're gonna map it to this number, and then we're going to set the number that we budgeted here. And we're gonna do the exact same thing we did last month. So let's say we spent, I'm just gonna copy and paste because, okay. So let's say this is what we ended up spending. So we underspent this much, which is awesome. We didn't spend $400. We were able to control ourselves a bit, and we ended up with $99 extra dollars. Again, we're trying to pay off our debt, so you have to decide something to do with $99. So at the end of the month, on January 31st or whatever, you have $99 left over in your account. Let's do something with that. So again, we want to pay off your credit card. We're going to pay an extra $300, extra whatever it was, $99 into this. Okay, I'm going to highlight it green because we did good this month, you know? Okay, nope, wrong thing. Okay, so that's how you would use this budget. Now, it goes through all the way through the rest of the year, and it's all summed up properly for you. And here you can just copy and paste this and then fix the formulas. I'll make sure that they're coded properly before I release this. But yeah, something I like to do to make this look neater is to hide columns once I'm done with them. So let's say it's January 15th. I don't want to see this anymore. It makes it messy. I'll hide them. And then the first one that will pop up is this current term that I'm in. Okay? So that's how I do that. And again, let's go to monthly charges and pay our things. Okay, so I know I said that we're not going to add car insurance yet. And this is, I want to talk about this very quickly. So if you are able to, it's definitely always better to pay in like lump sums because sometimes you can get a discount. For example, for car insurance, I pay my Progressive car insurance twice a year. And because of that, I get a rate discount. So I pay twice a year, and let's say April. So I make sure to have enough money to set aside $500 for that. Otherwise, maybe it'll be $1,300 and you lose an extra $75. I don't know, I'm bad at math. Every pay. So try to do things in lump sums. Another one that I do lump sums for, and I'm gonna like plug an app right now. They don't pay me anything, but I do get like a referral. Little bonus. Mint Mobile. So I use Mint Mobile. I used to use Verizon and pay like $85 for an unlimited plan. But now I switched to Mint Mobile, which is, maybe you've seen the ads with Ryan Reynolds, but they are a phone company that is very cheap. And you should look into it. Plans start at $15 a month and go up to, I think, $35 for unlimited, maybe 30 or 25, I don't know, something like that. And I would just check it out because if you can save an extra $60 per month on your phone bill, like why not, right? And they use T-Mobile thingies, so it's the same thing as T-Mobile basically. Yeah, so that's what I use for my iPhone, Mint Mobile, and I pay $360 a year for my phone service. That's like yours for 4 months probably, which is insane. So again, I would look for cost savings anywhere, whether you can find a cheaper phone plan. Again, mine works great. I rarely have weird spots where I can't use it. Bundle car insurance, bundle your renter's insurance, things like that, and other things. I also use apps like, so just some more recommendations to save some money. I use apps like Rakuten for cash back. I get a lot of cash back. I recently got this app called Fetch. I'll also include all my codes below so you can get like a little something. Where you, every time you buy something, you add your receipt. Obviously it's going to the company so they can target you better for ads, but whatever, they're already doing that. And with each spend, you get some money that you can spend on gift cards and such. So I use things like that just to save a little bit of extra cash, and it really makes a difference even though you can't see it at first. But things like switching to Mint Mobile or paying my car insurance in a lump sum, or using little apps that are free that you can make extra money off of, like Rakuten and Fetch, are all great ideas to just make your money stretch a little bit more. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, I hope this was really helpful for you. If you are a budgeting beginner, then I hope this video was really useful for you. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you come back to watch more videos about finances and budgeting and, well, my life in general, because it's interesting. Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Okay. Anyway, I think that's all I have for y'all. Hopefully that's actually it, and I don't remember what else in 5 minutes. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can see more. And then check out my Instagram as well. It's here. I post a lot of interesting things, more personal things about my life. And yeah. And if you're interested in seeing how I budget my actual money, like my actual income and how much I make, and you want to know all the nosy details because you're nosy, I'm nosy too. I want to know your income, like comment down below, just because I'm nosy. You can check my channel out for other videos, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it and hopefully you found something helpful today. Please comment and let me know what you thought of today's video. Thank you. Bye.